Um, Now, changing gears, I'd like to. So we talked about overall wellness, and Nicholas talked about the work that they're doing with Suez. Now, changing gears, I'd like to now invite Father Noel, who's a director at Don Bosco Network South Asia. He's an advocate for strategic change, working for youth and marginalized communities across the South Asian countries. And very interestingly, earlier today, before this started, I was having a chat with him, and I was mighty impressed by the fact that he works on. He has sort of a holistic approach towards empowerment of sustainable development using inclusion. I definitely look forward to hearing more about what you have to say, Father. So the stage is all yours. Please take it away. Thank you.
Good morning to all the viewers here from Bangalore World Trade Center. It's great to be part of this economic global sustainable summit. And good morning to all the viewers who are part of this digital summit. I think this is a trendsetter. It's very exciting to be here this morning. The topic today for my talk is leaving no one behind, building a sustainable inclusion. So if we have to talk about sustainable inclusion or sustainability today, it's maybe carrying coal to Newcastle. I don't want to do that. But what we are going to say is, does economic growth ensure sustainable development is a question. That's the first point. The second one is a culture of inclusive growth for building sustainability, what is needed, and what Don Bosco network across the world, across South Asia is doing to leave no one behind, but with a sustainable inclusion. And then what we are talking all these days, the deep tech, the data, and what we have been hearing, the startups, everything, how they can contribute to this. So just to start off, 17 countries studies have been done by Kowalski. He found that GDP growth does not mean a sustainable growth. And so going further, there are other studies which say the Genuine Progress Index, Happy Planet Index, Human Development Index, all of them are saying that these three factors, social, environmental, economic factors, have to be included. We heard a beautiful talk from John Kurula how environmental disaster is affecting sustainability. But I would like to go beyond. Not only social, economic, and environmental factors, but culture plays a great role. It is not culture as one more pillar of this sustainability or culture for sustainability, but culture as sustainability, an inclusive culture. This is what we are talking about. Just take this case of Vivek Murthy today is going to be advising Joe Biden's COVID task force. Where does he come from? From Karnataka, farmer's family today. Don't want to talk about Kamala Harris, who comes from a mother, Indian mother. Why they are there? Because they have been given an equal opportunity. And today, if you look at this picture, there are two kids carrying school bags, two kids carrying a trash bags. So when will they have an opportunity or at all to go to school? It's a big question. There's a quotation from Malala. We cannot succeed when half of us are held back. That means we need to give opportunity to everyone. So the distance, this is a very pathetic picture, a father doing acrobatics with his child on top. What is the distance between the father? It's real hunger. So again, there is exclusion here happening, not inclusion. So world needs to reduce poverty, inequality. For that, we need inclusive growth. And inclusive growth sometimes from economic terms thinks that it is not compatible with equality. But inclusive growth is needed for complete equality. So ensure everyone the same opportunity to work hard and contribute. So participation of all the sectors of the society. If someone is left behind, then there won't be any sustainability. So inclusive growth, according to Organization of Economic Cooperation for Development, says inclusive growth is an economic growth that is distributed fairly across society and creates opportunity for all. So it talks about poverty reduction, industrial development, environment protection, employment generation, equal distribution, social sector, agriculture. So it's a comprehensive growth which will provide sustainability. So a culture of inclusion for sustainability in all dimensions: economic, environmental, social, cultural. Then we can add a few more, but for the time being, these four at least is very important pillars for sustainable growth. Moving on further, inclusivity is very important between economy and sustainability. If you do inclusivity, then sustainability is not possible to establish a more sustainable one. I'm moving on to say, what is Don Bosco doing? Don Bosco's whole mission is to leave no one behind, to building a sustainable inclusion. So our mission is to give equal access to right for a dignified life and live in harmony with the nature. So Don Bosco's whole mission was exactly this: a dream for including millions of people, today working around 134 countries. And in India, we are touching 1 million people's life. In the world, there are more being. So this is the network of NGOs of Don Bosco in South Asia, including Sri Lanka. We have 354 NGOs. And this is the footprint of Don Bosco. I'm showing this because this is an effort spread across pan-India to give opportunity for young people all over India, especially in the poor rural areas and the tribal areas. So what are the four flagships we have? For looking at the children, we want to empower the young children, especially those who are in the vulnerable situations, taking care of all the sustainable development goals. Then skilling youth and giving them a sustainable living. And then, of course, gender is a big question in India, so we are involved with the empowering women and communities. And that was about first part was about life. The second one is about giving harmony, especially with the whole environmental concern which has been spoken about, and also addressing emergencies. Lot of emergencies which take place, like earthquakes, floods, cyclones, and recently we had. So these are a few numbers where we talk about how many children we are saving, like 2,87,000 children. This is something very interesting, how we are inclusive to make school dropouts learn coding in Mumbai, which is happening. This is also happening in many of the cities. This is one example how we are trying to be inclusive to bring street children to mainstream them. This is a whole work of 103 technical schools giving vocational training, skills for sustainable livelihood. And we got a big network called DB Tech, which partnered with Skill Mission India. And women empowerment programs which are going on. And also we have this question of Green Alliance, which takes care of a lot of climate concern issues, which I don't want to talk about because it's been spoken enough. Then lot of disasters, and recent disaster we had is this COVID, and we managed to reach 3.28 million people because of our spread big and bring inclusion for them. And this is how it was distributed from various states of India, how many people were taken care. But this whole COVID-19 crisis has brought us to the awareness that we need to work for migrants. But Don Bosco's whole DNA, I would say, Don Bosco's mission started with the migrant children. So we have been working with the migrant and migrant children for a long time. And so now we have started around 38 migrant desk centers where we give help for ensure the rights of the migrants and sustainable livelihood for them, and give them career guidance and job placement. But the whole question was how there is no data about the migrants today. And today I'm going to pose this challenge to the rest of the panels which we have talked about. Data, how much we are able to use to bring inclusion to the people. This is another beautiful example. This is in the WhatsApp these days, Vinisha, 14-year-old girl from Tiruvannamalai, brought out this new innovation of solar for presswalas, those who are doing ironing on the streets. And she has brought out this prototype and she won an award from the Swedish Academy for Climate Cup, and it's going to change the life of 10 million presswalas in the world, or in especially in India. And it's going to be environment friendly because every presswala is going to use 5 kg of coal every day burning. That's against the environment. So the challenge today, COVID has opened up a lot of avenues how we can, deep tech can help, data can help. And today we are having this conference also because of the COVID, a new type of addressing concerns. And so people need to use data, and we need analysis of the data for social development in also in the non-profit sector. We have been hearing about a lot of startups, innovations which these days, but how much of this is being utilized for social development and ensuring rights of the people is a question I would like to pose. So this is what we have been hearing: data and deep tech for a culture of inclusive sustainable development. Is this possible, or how much of it is going to be used? And all that we have heard about AI and IoT and robotics, all this, can we use it for ensuring the rights of the people and making them included in the sustainable development? So the UNDP said, applying the pledges as principle across all its program, calling for countries to examine disaggregated and data and people-driven data. It's not data driving people, but people-driven data and information to bring inclusion. And civic engagement and giving a voice to the people whose voice are not heard. And then enact integrated, equality-focused SDG policies which will bring about interventions and budgets to bring about inclusion. So this is a model, business model, which we are seeing here from Concord and cooperatives and fair trade, which came yesterday from one of the talks. They are talking about structural characteristics driven by social and environmental mission and inclusive governance and led by a long-term vision for sustainable development. And they benefit people and the planet by creating a decent work opportunities, empowering women and youth, reaching out to marginalized people, contributing to the green transition. So these are few models. So the whole question is, economy is there, sustainability is there, but the missing link is inclusive culture, which can make the economy sustainable. So these are all our partners who are trying to support Don Bosco Network, and they have brought inclusion and sustainable development. I want to say that in this whole panel of these 3 days, we have had this summit where a lot of people have come from different perspectives of dimensions of life, but this happens to be the only non-profit, and this is an act of inclusion in the global summit or digital summit, and I thank Jose K. Jose for Jose Jacob Jose for giving this opportunity to be part of this digital summit. So I'd like to conclude the mission of Don Bosco is to leave no one behind and build a sustainable inclusion so that we can have a better world and where everyone can live with dignity and in harmony with the nature. Thanks to everyone, and it's been wonderful to be here in this global summit.
Presentation. One takeaway for me was, economic growth is not sustainable without inclusion. I think that's the key takeaway that I could take off. And I would like to answer, you did mention about AI, about IoT and other. At REAP, we are working with startups which are all about sustainability. They, of course, use tech and deep tech, but it's not just about that. I think we're very cognizant of that, and I think you'll see a lot of startups coming out of our fold in those areas. Look forward to interacting with you.